welcome back. So today basically what I'm going to be doing is showing you my least favorite in every palette that I have. I feel like this is helpful to me, at least. I found a few videos like this that I really like watching. I originally got this idea from Danielle Schmidt here on YouTube. I will link her channel below. She is so nice and super interactive with all of the people who watch her, and just with the amount of videos she posts, she's always posting and doing all kinds of things like that. So y'all should definitely go check her out. And without further ado, I'm gonna get started, because if not, this video will be 1800 years long. So the first palette I'm going to start off with is the Pure and BoxyCharm palette. This is it right here, and probably without a doubt this blue color is my least favorite. I find that it just has too much glitter in it, and I'm not really big on wearing blue eyeshadows. I mean, it's definitely pretty, but I just feel like it's not as pigmented as it looks. In here I find that it's a little bit darker and it comes off a little bit lighter, and I'm just not into the super chunky glitter. So the next one that I have is the BH Cosmetics Glam Reflection Gilded Palette. I've actually cracked this palette a few times and had to repress them back, but I love this palette, and if I'm not wrong, I think the palette's only about like $15. But just like the quality of this palette, it feels so nice, and the mirror is so nice. I think I want to do another video where I show my favorite eyeshadow in every palette, because this one right here is so special. It's pink, but it has gold in it. You can kind of tell if you look. I really don't have a least favorite shade in this palette for the sake of this video. I guess I'll have to say this one right here. Nothing wrong with it. It's just a plain old gold shimmer color. I have a million more like it, and I don't really ever reach for it, and it's also not as pigmented as some of the other ones are. This is another palette where I really don't have a least favorite shade. I love this palette. This is from Hush. It's the Bad Habit Athena palette, and this is what it looks like right here. It's supposed to be kind of a dupe play off of one of the Huda Beauty palettes. I cannot talk today. But I guess I would have to say my least favorite one is this one right here, just because I don't really lean for cool tone colors all that much, so I probably would never use it, and that's it right there. Next we have this palette from Crown. We got this in a BoxyCharm a few months ago, and I really do like this palette. I love the color scheme and everything about it, but I don't really care for this shade that much. You would think it's just going to be like a matte transition color, but it actually has shimmer to it, and it's not that pigmented, and you can't even really see it on my skin because it's so close to my skin tone, but I'm just not into it. Then we have the Real Her Shadow Palette. We got this in a BoxyCharm a long time ago. It's pretty beat up. When I first started doing makeup, this was like all I really had, and I thought this was the greatest palette ever, even though it is definitely far from not. And my least favorite shade is this black shade. I've tried to use this in the past. It swatches super well. I've actually never swatched it before, so this looks so nice. But when you apply it on your eyelids, it's super patchy, and it comes off more of like a gray color. It can end up making you look a little bit like just like you have mascara all over your face after you wear it for some time. Next we have the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. This is the palette right here, and I think I'd have to say my least favorite shade is this one right here. Not necessarily because of the color, but because this shade has fallen out of the palette so many times, and I have to keep putting it back in. And there's two purple shades in the palette, and personally I prefer the other purple shade, but this one is pretty too. It kind of has like a pinkish periwinkle reflect in it. The next one I have, this came in BoxyCharm so long ago. This came in BoxyCharm over a year ago. This, when I first was starting out with makeup, was like my go-to. This little thing of shimmers, these eyeshadows are so special. I truly, honestly, do not have a least favorite in this palette, but you can see they're all used. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this one just because I use this one the least. I don't really go for dark shimmers, but you can see, like, when you press your finger in it, it moves. They kind of feel similar to the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Cannot talk today. Just can't. But they are so pigmented. Like, are you kidding? What? It's so pigmented and crazy and beautiful. This palette is amazing. Next up we have ABH Modern Renaissance, a cult classic, and mine's actually not as dirty as everyone else's is. Everyone always complains how they get theirs dirty, and I actually haven't had much problems with mine getting dirty. I actually just did this right here today, and it was lipstick. It was on my finger, I didn't know. And I've brought mine with me a lot of places. I don't know, whatever. But this is the palette right here. I'm sure everyone already knows what this palette looks like. But I'm just going to go ahead and say that the shade Tempura is my least favorite. Not because I don't like the shade, just because I don't really go for shades that are the same color as my lid. I just find it pointless. I don't set whatever I put on my eyelids before I put eyeshadow on. I just like to go in with the color. So yeah, that for me is what it is. Next we have Take Me to Brazil. This palette is so beat up. So beat up. Take Me to Brazil. This is also a classic. If you don't know what this palette is, I don't know. You must not have been on YouTube for long, because this palette was everywhere on YouTube at one point in time. But my least favorite one is for sure this one right here. I've tried to use this on multiple occasions, and it is just so chalky and patchy. I might swatch well. Oh, nope. Yeah, you can see it doesn't really come up much, and it's super chunky and patchy, and I'm just not into it. And I have this little bitty palette from Ulta. I wasn't going to put this in here because this is just like some random little palette I got for free. But I figured, why not? The one that I don't like is the shade Buzzword right here. It should be like a pretty, you know, transition type color, but it doesn't really have much pigment. It swatches decent, but on the eyelids it's not all that, so I'm just not into it. This next one, I was trying to decide if I even wanted to include in this video with everything that's going on right now, but I figured whatever. This is the Laura Lee Party Animal palette, and I've actually only used this once since I got it, but I guess my least favorite shade would have to be this bright blue right here, just because I'm not really super into bright blues like this. I have bluish green eyes, so whenever I wear blue eyeshadow, it kind of like contradicts it. Same thing with this one. With the other one, it looks darker in the palette and it comes off like a turquoise color, and I'm just not into it. Also, what I thought was really strange about this palette, the pink has shimmer in it, but the glitters are pink glitters. And then I have the Smashbox palettes. This is it right here, and I actually love this palette because of the brush. The brush is double-ended. It has an eyebrow side and a eyeshadow side, and this shade right here is actually perfect for my eyeshadow. This shade right here is actually perfect to match my eyebrows. So I've done my eyebrows with this multiple times. I guess the one shade that I don't like is probably this one right here. I don't think I'd ever reach for a cool tone gray color, even if I was doing a smoky eye, and this one actually doesn't even feel that pigmented. Yeah, see, not into it. This is actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was gonna be able to just look at it and be like, oh, that's the one I don't like. So I have this one from Winky Lux, and I used to love this palette. This shade right here, okay, I'm definitely gonna have to do the video where I say my favorite shade in every palette, because this shade right here is so special. It is purple, but it has like periwinkle glitter in it. I can't explain it, but it's so special. My least favorite shade is gonna have to be this gold one, not because it's a bad shade. I've actually never used this color before. You can see it's brand new touched. It's super pigmented, feels just like all the other ones, but I just don't go for gold shades like this. But same thing with this one. This is super pigmented. Oh, look at that. It has like yellow glitter in it. It looks gold on camera, but in person, it's like yellow. I think I'm changing my mind on that one. I might tap into that tomorrow and put that gold shade on my lid, because I'm upset. Right. And then I have this Pure palette. I used to love this. I know I say that about everything, but I really used to love this. One of my friends actually dropped it and broke it right here, and I could have dropped her and broke her. I wanted to kill her. That's okay though, we're over it. I guess the shade that I don't like is probably this one right here, not because it's a bad shade. Again, I just don't really reach for dark shimmery colors. I never do looks that need a dark shimmer, but same thing, this is so pigmented and pretty if you like this kind of color. Next we have the ColourPop Golden State of Mind palettes. This is it right here. This is the All Shimmers one, and I already know which one my least favorite is. It is this one right here. I wanted to use this one because I thought this was so pretty, but it's This one is different than the other ones. I didn't even show you, I'm sorry. This one right here, it's like chunkier and heavier or something. Its swatch is fine, but you can kind of see like the pigmentation is not there in comparison to the other ones. Palette from Pixi. This is the It's Judy Time, okay? This is it right here. I've actually only played around with this palette a few times, but I really like it. There's no one specific reason why I haven't used it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I think this black shade right here I'm not into because it has yellow glitter in it. Not gold, like yellow glitter. I don't know why people do that because, and the black, I mean, it's a little pigmented, but can you see? You can see the sparkles, but you can't see what color they are. They're yellow. I'm not trying to have a smoky eye with yellow glitter in it, Pixi. Speaking of Pixi, this is the greatest face mist ever. I freaking love it. I've repurchased it 3 times now. It's only 15 bucks. It makes your skin feel so clean and fresh. I've never put anything on my face that makes my skin feel like this, and I have noticed a skin difference. My skin looks clearer, brighter, shinier, all those things that you say whenever you're trying to, like, you know, get someone to do something. That's exactly what I'm not making any sense, but this spray, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. I have 2 palettes left. And it's actually funny because the 2 people who created these palettes are friends in real life. Anyways, I have the collab with Kathleen Lights and ColourPop, the Dream Street palette. I love this palette. It is so good, but my least favorite shade is probably this one right here. Not because it's bad, just because I never reach for it. It's like a soft cream color, more of like, I guess, a transition shade it would be, but this is it right here. It's got a little shimmer to it, and it's definitely pretty. It's definitely pigmented. It's just not my role. And then lastly, we have the Alamar Cosmetics palette. Can we just talk about how cute this palette is? I can't open it, but look at it. It is so freaking cute. You can see I definitely dug into this shade. This shade is awesome. But I actually genuinely like every single color in this palette. Genuinely have used all of them. But same thing again, I guess my least favorite would have to be this blue one right here, just because I don't really go for blues like that. But this is like so freaking pigmented. I've actually never swatched this. I've only used it, so we'll see what happens right now. Oh my god. Look at that. That is like the most magnificent swatch ever. I know this is supposed to be a shade that I hate video, but that is freaking insane. And look, my finger, like, and I really didn't even tap into it that hard. Look. Oh. Okay, it's fading out, but still, that swatch is more pigmented than this one. That's incredible. Well, guys, that was it. This is my stash of colors that I dislike, and honestly, truly, I think I discovered some that I didn't like them just because I had never tried them, like especially this one right here. I cannot get over the yellow glitter in it. Same with this one. I'm so surprised, even though I don't go for blue that much. I mean, like, come on. Some of them were a bit of a disappointment, as you can see, but overall, those are just the ones that me personally I don't like. If they work for you, don't feel bad about it. It is what it is. Everyone likes different shit. I truly feel like the world would be a lot happier place if we could just all accept the fact that people are people and our likes are not the same, and some people like certain things and some people like other things, and that's okay. Just because you don't like the same things doesn't mean that you should hate that person and do all these things. Some people like apples, some people like oranges, and it is what it is. And I don't know why I'm preaching wisdom right now, but that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.